What's going on, guys? My name's Chris Warnes, and since 2017, I've been a full-time luxury watch dealer, passionate about helping you navigate the world of high-end timepieces. Alongside that, I have a few other ventures: consulting, writing, public speaking, some real estate, and I have a nonprofit in veteran services. But here on this channel, it's all about watches, your go-to place for education, insights, and building a community of enthusiasts who share the same passion. If you find any value in this content, we'd love for you to hit the like button and subscribe, especially since 96% of you watching haven't. With that said, let's get into today's show. All right, I'm excited for this one. My top 10 favorite Audemars Piguets. I know it's a bold topic and a bold opening statement, but we're going to discuss my top 10 favorite APs. Not necessarily the best 10 APs, but my favorites. These are purely from years of owning, wearing, trading, selling, and dealing APs. So this isn't a guide to the best 10 APs ever, just what I think is best. And some of you might agree, might like them too. This is a very subjective show to come, but I think you guys will like it as my style lands with a lot of you. And I know most of you have good taste. So let's get into these top 10. All right. Number 10, 15710 ST Royal Oak Offshore Diver. It comes in a lot of color variations and case metal options to choose from. But the coolest part about this AP is you can find them really good condition, good examples on the secondary market for right around $20,000, sometimes less for the older variations. It's a 42 millimeter, so it's a great daily if you like a rubber strap feel of the offshores, as you can quickly change the straps for different color options. I personally love the rubber straps and love the look of having a rubber strap because I have a big wrist and the rubber wears better for me. I've dailied a diver for a couple of years, I believe, and I truly love them. I think they're one of the best APs there is. Number 9, the 26400AU Royal Oak Offshore Carbon. This murdered out 44 millimeter carbon case beast is one of the lightest APs I've ever seen or worn. Given the case is carbon, it cuts down on the weight and wears like a dream. If you like the all black look, you can pick one of these up for like low 20s, usually $22,000, maybe $25,000, depending on condition. So here's the Achilles heel. Given that it's a carbon fiber case, if the case is chipped or damaged, the price typically reflects it, as it's hard to repair carbon. So be careful when buying them, for this is somewhat common given these watches are now, about 10 years old. Number 8, the classic 15510 ST Royal Oak 41 millimeter sleek and classic AP Royal Oak look. Personally, I have really liked these with a black dial, a blue dial, and green dials. They seem to be subtly a great option over wearing, say, a Rolex Submariner as a nice, classy daily you can drive really hard and beat up. But a slimmer option over the offshores, it could be dressed up or down really well to meet any real circumstance that you're looking to wear it for. Price range is a bit all over the place because of dial colors, but you're looking at about 30 to 40 grand for a good example and good condition depending on the dial color. Number 7, the Royal Oak Offshore 26400 SO Camo. Fun fact, this was the first AP I ever owned, wore and sold for a profit in 2018, I think. I'm pretty sure I bought it around 30 grand and sold it for around 32 grand. I was very happy I didn't lose my ass buying and selling an AP, and I was very scared to buy it being my first AP, truth be told. Now, there are newer versions of this. It's a touch smaller with a lot of different colors, but I prefer the classic 44 millimeter that we're discussing. The original camo is always going to hold a special place in my heart. Produced from 2014 to 2021, you won't see many of these, and it's a great conversation piece as it's very uniquely colored. You can find them between like high 20s, low 30s for something that's in decent shape. Just be careful because they're getting older and some of them need services. So you're going to want to check into that before you buy them. Number 6, Royal Oak Offshore 26400RO. Very similar. If you're picking up on the patterns here, I like a touch older 44 millimeter Royal Oak Offshore. Having a 8-inch wrist, it's probably the reason why, but hey, we all like what we like, and that's what's most important, right? I've owned a few of these, and what makes them cool to me is they have gold and rubber. The gold and the rubber is kind of like, hey, I'm classy, but I also prefer comfort and being casual. It's one of the best buys around the low $30,000, in my humble opinion, especially for an AP. Number 5, Royal Oak Offshore Blue 26405CE. Blue happens to be my favorite color, and AP does it right with this one. The blue rubber strap is just one of the best rubber straps that they've ever done, in my opinion. It's weird, like it's hard to pick up on unless you wear it, but the strap's incredible. With a nice black 44 millimeter case, ceramic case, it does not disappoint on wrist presence, contrasting with the blue very well. Now, they do make this model in a bunch of other colors, but of course, blue is my favorite. Price kind of varies, but plan on about $40,000-ish for a nice variation or a nice example of this Royal Oak. Number 4, the Royal Oak Offshore 26470OR The Brick. Normally, you see these offshores on rubber or a strap, but this is a full gold bracelet variation. Weighing almost 1 pound of solid rose gold, it lives up to its nickname of the brick. I remember when I first saw a brick, actually I saw 2. I had 2 in my hands when I first saw them. A friend of mine at the time told me to stop being a pussy and buy one of them. That was his sales pitch. He was trying to get me to buy one, and his sales tactic was to insult my ego to create the buy. He did pretty well at doing that, and still does, I think. He didn't get me to buy it right there on the spot. That was like 2017. The ego hit didn't really work with me. But the brick did become my grail piece moving forward. In 2022, I bought my first brick or grail piece, and I dailied it for a couple of years. Having bought and sold a bunch of these, it's a magnificent watch. It's a monster and has monster wrist presence, and it's very heavy to wear. I actually sold mine because of how heavy it is to wear. And I'm a big guy, but it's just cumbersome, to say the least. So when it comes to price, well, before we discuss the price, I want you to keep in mind one link costs about $1,500, maybe $2,000. One link. So if it's short 4 links, you're out potentially $8,000. So the price is very dependent on condition and links, but plan on around $70,000 for one in good condition. Number 3, one of my favorites. Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Double Balance Wheel Opened Work 15407ST. And oh man, what can I say about this that hasn't been said about this piece already? It's honestly, it's just a piece of art is really what it is. You can get lost in the design, starting from the opened work or open dial to the case back for what seems like hours. You can just get lost staring at the intricacy of the movement. These sell anywhere around 130 to 160K. It's a heavy hitter for a watch. When I was putting this show together, I was thinking about what I was going to say, and I figured I would just tell this story. So I was hand delivering this watch to one of my friends in the Miami area. And the day before I delivered it, I wanted to make sure it was working. And I had just flown and it had sat stagnant for a couple of days. So one of the ways you can make sure a watch is working is you put it on and you walk with it. And watches need the movement of the human body. So I took it for a spin. I take it for a test drive, make sure it's working, right? You don't want to deliver a $150,000 watch that's not working. So I was staying at the one hotel in Miami and I put it on. I went to the bar to go get some food and I was walking around and the watch was working, fortunately, and everything was running correct. But the waiter that was serving me noticed it and was like, "Oh my God, I've never seen one before. Holy moly." And, he was going wild over it. And he's like, "I've never seen this before," so on and so forth. And like on cue, sure enough, a really tall black dude walks by with one on also. And I stopped what I was doing. I like looked up at this like 7-foot tall dude. I was like, "What's up, bro?" We chatted for maybe a minute or two. And I said, "Hey man, what do you do?" And his response was, "I play for the Miami Heat," which, as we all know, is a professional NBA team in Miami. And that's the level of person that wears this watch. And it was just a super cool experience. It's an absolutely incredible piece, and it's an incredible piece of art. Number 2, the Royal Oak 2633110OR. Another piece of art. The rose gold, the blue dial, the gold chronographs. It just hits. You can find these on blue leather strap, which is great. And in comparison to the variation that I prefer on solid rose gold bracelet. But if you're buying these, be careful because there's what's called converted and non-converted. Let me explain. Converted come from AP on leather and then get aftermarket or OEM gold bracelets put on, which gives it the title of converted, and it commands less value. A non-converted coming from the factory with the gold bracelet holds the most value and premium. Man, oh man, is this thing just gorgeous. Incredible wrist presence, and it screams big boss vibes. It will set you back about 90 to 100 grand if in good condition, fully linked on the secondary market. Truth be told, I'll probably buy one of these for myself personally soon. I love them that much that I would do so. Number 1 in my favorite AP of all time, drum roll please. I don't have a drummer in the office. Drum roll. We'll have to get one of those. Hey, hire a drummer. Talking to Penelope, my dog. She won't hire anybody. Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore Chronograph Summer Edition 26408OR. Funny thing is, I like black and blue over the color white. But this thing just hits so freaking hard. Solid 44 millimeter rose gold case. Even the crown and the pushers are rose gold, which you don't see too much on the offshore lineup. Now that we're talking about it, I personally should probably get one of these for myself too. Yeah, I'll get this one first for maybe my next milestone, and I'll anchor it here. If I'll anchor the milestone with the watch. If you want to see a review of this watch, please drop a comment below and let me know. Maybe we'll do that. These are no longer made, and they will set you back about 50 to 60 grand for one in good condition. But truth be told, I just love this thing. I think it's the most beautiful AP ever made. Some might agree, some might not. All right, so the closeout. So if you're interested in picking up one of these APs, we've got them in stock. Or if you want to learn more about working with us to get your hands on a timepiece, check out the link in the description below. And before I go, I'd love to hear your feedback. What do you think of this review? Do you like my top 10? Let me know in the comments. I always enjoy hearing from everyone, regardless of your perspective. And if you haven't done so, please hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, but also helps us understand what content you like so we can make more of it. I want to make more content that you guys like. So thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Peace.